Chat, here we go. We got ourselves an EU versus NA matchup. And the way we're going to handle it today, because we actually got this game to happen because there was a prize pool donated, is we're going to play 2 games on EU, where Toxic has home server, as he's from England. Then we'll play 2 games on US East, where Evoh has home server, as he is from Maryland. Now, if there is a winner after 4 games, somebody gets 3-1, or maybe 4-0, I don't know if we'll play it all out, then that person gets the whole prize. If they end up going 2-2, either they both win on their own servers, or maybe they both steal one, then we will split the prize. That is going to be the plan today for this EU versus NA matchup. Evoh has looked really, really good in his North American matches recently, and he's actually been trying to avoid EU servers for the most part. I've always asked Evoh to try and set up matches because he has been the homie for the longest time. So if there's an opportunity to set up a game, I'll let him know. But he has been avoiding, admittedly, the EU server games. And I don't blame him. It can be tough to play on high ping. Sometimes you just want to be able to play the game you want, the game the way you want to. But he has been convinced to hop on to to EU in an attempt to take Toxic down. Now, Toxic has looked better and better and better as time has gone on as a 1v1er. Has started to perform well in tournaments, as well as being very high rated. And he's trying to show that maybe one of the top 3 players from the USC servers are not going to be able to handle him. Evoh, nice challenge. Should be able to get a touch and get this on net. 2-1. Let's take a look at the ping. People always want to know. 36 now for Toxic and 96 for Evoh. So the good thing about Maryland and England are that both of them can get sub 100 ping on the other server, which is ultimately a pretty fair game. We just got done watching Hyder and KV1, where both of them were on 120 plus, which we feel less good about, but at least it was even. Toxic, his flick game is solid. Toxic is one of the 3 players who were voted to have best kickoff by their peers. We did a video where we asked 18 of the top 1v1 players to decide amongst themselves who were the best players on the ground, in the air, in kickoffs, and then rate their top 10. And those players decided that KV1, Toxic, and Moxie, I believe, all had the best kickoffs. They all got the same amount of votes. And they certainly are players who are known for their solid kickoffs. Evoh not known. In fact, might be the opposite of known. He's been roasted a few times for letting some games fall away with his kickoff. But I think his kickoff is solid. It has been solid, especially in his matches recently. And something that is not a detriment to his game by any means anymore, despite maybe having some tough challenges with it in the past. Do you only need top 1's role in the Discord to get on show matches? No, top 1's role we give to basically anybody who proves they're in the top 100. But I actually don't use the Discord almost ever anymore for show matches. But I'll tell you what I tell everybody else who's trying to get into one show matches. I'm basically every day always looking for the best game I can find. And nowadays, the best game I can find usually involves top 50 or higher players. Sometimes even higher than that. So if you're looking to really want to get into a show match, there's no better way than to push yourself top 50. I mean, I think that's what the fans want to see, and it makes it more interesting. And you're just competing against lots of players who are doing that, trying to break way into the scene. Toxic, nice delayed use of this flip. Get himself a 3rd. Title is wrong. Do we have a mod? Oh, mod already fixed it before I even read that chat. Evoh unable to get past Toxic. He has a 1-goal lead. Toxic pre-jumping, and Evoh knows to just play it quickly. He was trying to go for a wall to air dribble that he is very solid at. Definitely a more slow, calculated play where he sets up resets. But as soon as he hears Toxic pre-jump, he's just trying to win the race. And he won it enough to hold on to possession. And now the 50 on the goal line. Great save from Toxic. The offense has been all Evoh for the past minute, but all it takes is one defensive stand and a goal the other way. Tie this series back up. The flick from Toxic leaves a lot to be desired, but his possession is still in play. This time he's going to go for the air dribble bump, and Evoh stays glued to the ground. Throws the nice shot, which I can't tell. I mean, Evoh, I feel like in the past has been upset with a play like this, but it seems like an earnest, nice shot to me. Thought Toxic set it up well. Toxic going to let this kickoff fall back down to the ground. He's going to set up another air dribble bump. And Evoh was just trying to goad him into doing it again. See, that's why he said nice shot. He said, nice shot, man. The air dribble bumps, they're immaculate. You should do it again. You should do it again when I'm ready for it. And this time, Evoh double jumps over the top of it right away. Gets himself a fifth. Evoh no wall to air dribble this time. Fake hook shot. He actually got Toxic to move. He just couldn't finish it off. You got Toxic to swing far out of net and attempt to cut off the angle for the hook shot. And ultimately, he still couldn't finish it off, but a very nice play. And now a bump on Toxic. The net could be open, but he does need to slot it far corner. He couldn't do so. So a bit of execution from Evoh that is off. And now Evoh loves to bait players in. I would not be surprised at all if he doesn't take this to net, but he did. Take it to the skies and goes for the riskiest possible play instead of just baiting Toxic in. And of the two things Evoh loves to do, which is camp around the ball and force somebody to make a bad play, and the other one is take high to an air dribble and try and get an outplay. I think when you're up one with 30 seconds, the former is better. But hey, Evoh is Evoh. We can't tell him how to play, and now a tie game. Not able to get any offense out of the corner. He's used up all his boost, so it'll be Toxic with an extreme boost advantage. Going down the other side of the field. Remember, this is an EU game. Toxic, as he gets Evoh to miss, or get a soft save and then follow it up. Evoh was close to stealing an EU game, which could be really crucial to getting a win in the series overall, if you can just hold on to his US East games. But you have to think Toxic is about to get a first hold. I know it's far from teaching you guys the language of my very obscure sport, but this would be considered a hold, a server hold. I don't know if they call him breaks in any other game, but Evoh was trying to get a break. He's trying to break server. I think people say that. And instead, Toxic is able to hold. That's general sports, right? Those are terms used in all sports. Yo! Flip the bit. Thank you for another $30, my man. We will make it a $60 prize pool now. Very much appreciate it, Flip the bit. A true homie. You guys ever catch Flip the bit in chat? Or I don't know if he ever comments on YouTube. Make sure you give him some love. Flip the bit has been a huge supporter of the channel via prize pools for a long time. And it is people like Flip the bit who got us this game today. I mean, that's the reality. Offering up the prize pool to get Evoh and Toxic in this match. Make sure you give them a heart, give them some love, because they definitely deserve it, and they have a huge hand in bringing us matches like this. But we come to game number 2. Toxic, nice flick. What a save. That was a really strong flick. And I definitely expected to go in. Most defenders, I don't think are getting up for that, but Evoh does. Right now, he's trying to get what he let slip out of his hands just barely in the last game, which is a break of server. We're going to play this second game on EU servers. And then he will need to win his USCs. Now, if he doesn't get a break, it puts even more pressure going into the final 2 games, knowing he has to win them both in order to not drop the series. Might be nice just to have a little bit of cushion, knowing that Toxic would have to win 2 straight in order to get a win on him if he were able to steal one. Power shot doesn't surprise Toxic out of position like he was hoping for. Toxic, the air dribble setup. Wise to let it come to the ground, though, as it had just the right amount of strength for a great high bounce dribble. His air roll shot to place it on the post, though, is saved by Evoh. Evoh, a touch to the midfield. He's just playing a bit of keep away. He finally pulled off the ball and let Toxic take a possession, but he did a good job of playing, the keep away to keep away. Now, Toxic given a free touch to the midfield. At times, this 50 is not easily won by Evoh. Feels good about the spot that he's in. Toxic is scrambling a bit on offense. And Evoh hasn't had to deal with too many threatening takes, but now this is where he doesn't feel good. He wasn't able to gain possession and take it away from the net, and Toxic will air dribble bump. Evoh's going to throw a nice shot every time those work, apparently. He didn't have the boost to get over the top of it this time. Did pick up 2 pads, but at the cost of some positioning that made it so he couldn't get over the top. If he had the 23 boost already, and he was coming into that play with it, he would have jumped early while still far outside the net. But when he was forced inside the direct line of the play to pick up that boost, no longer was it an option to get up over the top. Toxic, a cut dribble far away from the net. Evoh basically accepted that could happen with this challenge. He covered anything towards net, and Toxic was going to have to go egregiously away to the side wall in order to make Evoh not connect with it, which is what happened, but something Evoh can live with ultimately as it gives him time to recover. Look at this flick from again by Toxic, so solid. Evoh able to get the save again, though. He has these really great reads. Those are not easy flicks to save. They're placed in a spot that is certainly not a hard position to get to, but that kind of speed would be really, really hard to read. Not for Evoh, apparently, although he dives in and should be giving up a second goal. Toxic, a bit of a missed open net. He didn't have tons of boost, but he wasn't able to get the play, and Evoh actually put the perfect amount of strength here. I was going to say his open net was a little bit tougher. He knew Toxic was going to be bumping into him, but because he didn't boom it too hard, gives himself the opportunity to get back. Now he's up 2-1, a minute 33. Evoh, when he's been playing well, has been in low-scoring games. He's done such a good job of playing great defense and controlling pace. It's when tons of goals are headed in that Evoh has had a tough time staying with it, which is something crazy to say. I feel like when we first watched Evoh, the only kind of game he was going to win was super high-scoring games because he was frequently leaving open nets, giving some free goals, and then having to work them back. Not anymore. Evoh has really stepped up the defense and the smart midfield play to almost never leave a free attempt for the opposition. And right now he's got a 3-1 lead on Toxic. That was fortunate. That was fortunate. Evoh flipping off the wall and should have been left out of the play. Toxic, I think, bumps him back into it, pushes him on the wall, and allows him to get the save. Now Toxic, 45 seconds up to go. Majin Buu, thank you for the $5 donation. We'll add it to the prize pool, $65. Appreciate the support. As these guys playing for a decent amount of money. Another air dribble bump, really, at the end of the day, is what gets Toxic this second goal. It comes low. Evoh throws a nice shot again, because once again, he won or scored with an air dribble bump. And I'm updating the prize pool, so Evoh did have to watch the whole thing again. New XSET member. Yes, Evoh is the new XSET member. Toxic. Wave dash kickoff. Almost created that opportunity. Evoh, the pinch! The pinch to ice the break. No, it's off the post and out. But wait, Evoh finishes it off. That is a great shot. Trying to ice the server break out. He gets a really strong pinch. And even though he's just barely off, it's good enough. Good enough to get the follow-up. 4-2. That should be it. 22 seconds. Unless Evoh really blunders the kickoffs here. Should be able to control the possession long enough to keep Toxic from scoring. He's going to undercut him here. And even though he doesn't get the demo, forces Toxic to delay his take the other way. Great touch. And this has got to be it. Evoh is going to get a server break here. It'll be 1-1 after the end of the EU servers. Toxic, at best, he is hoping to tie if he's able to steal just one, or he needs to steal both games. Both games on USE so he could take the series. Game number 3. We have moved over to USD servers. So now, the challenge in front of Toxic. Win 1 game on the away server, and he at least gets a tie. Gets half the prize pool. Ooh, what a finally one of those flicks have scored. They have looked so great. And now, the speed is enough. 119 kilometer per hour flick. Thank goodness Evoh finally let one go in, so I could give you an idea of how hard it is to save a shot that is that fast. This time, he finally did have the placement with it as well. I think that's the reason why he scores. I was talking about how those are tough to save with placement, even being poor. But that placement was perfect, and the speed was unstoppable. Toxic. Oh, Toxic trying again. Toxic trying to get in the conversation of best flick. I can't believe I forgot to ask the pros. I don't think I said who has the best flick in 1v1, which is too bad. It would have been interesting to see what they said. I certainly would have gone with Moxie, but the players didn't go with, you know, all of my choices, so you never know what they could have picked. Evoh, can he get the double? No, nice fake. He sends Toxic flying as he looked to milk out the final touch. Toxic recovering late. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get a good enough one to get it past Toxic, so instead, just fake it. And man, did Toxic get burnt by that. Been watching on YouTube for months. First time getting to catch live. Hey, what's going on, Superior Mink? Glad to see you here. We love the YouTube homies here. Evoh, a pinch in a second. Not the first time he's scored off a wall pinch. This time in a bit of a different situation. Toxic, he stopped challenging the ball. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. He must have thought Evoh was going, I don't know. Whatever that he was going for, he must have expected him to miss, because otherwise he probably is better off challenging that ball. Evoh touching this to the sidewall after the demo. Wheels, thank you for the 2 months. Or sorry, the 3 total months of Tier 1. Appreciate it, Wheels. Great to have you back. I believe you just earned yourself a different color F in chat now with 3 months. Toxic. Hard to create offense here on the back wall, and this is what I'm talking about. It is really dangerous if you don't have a plan. And it didn't seem like Toxic did. He was just maybe hoping Evoh would challenge poorly. To be fair, that's probably the best plan on the back wall. Any sort of first touch isn't going to go to the net, and then... Oh, no! Oh, no, Toxic. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to watch it again. The wave dash kickoff. He bumps Evoh. He says, get out of my way. I want to score it. I want to score the own goal. I won't let you have the kickoff. That is a tough own goal. Evoh on track so far to hold the first game on his server, but Toxic did that as well. Evoh, he made that save about as rough as possible. Seemed like he wanted to pop it to the back wall and then land there. I love this flick. I can't wait till Evoh perfects this. He's been trying this in a tons of his ones. Just the underside of the car flick. And although he hasn't really made it work, it'll be sweet when he does. Evoh seemed like he could have went around the left side of that ball and taken a touch towards net. That would have likely been a goal, but instead wants to play it to the side wall and give Toxic a easy roll. Can't find the right play. Still up 2 though. Just over halfway through the game. Oh my goodness. Evoh just wanted to delay the kickoff. I don't think he was trying to fake. You can't fake the kickoff. Everyone knows. I mean, not that close. Everyone knows you're going. Ooh. Toxic did a nice barrel roll, wave dash, and then shot himself away from the play. Toxic soft touch. Able to score off this kickoff. Evoh once again looking for the underside of the car flick. This time trying to use it in defense. As he has very little boost. Looking to hold on to possession, but I think this has been the next tier of Evoh's play. The reason why he's popped up and shined above the rest The way he's been able to clean up his defense and players' possessions very, very early. Doesn't give them multiple opportunities to score, and apparently backflips at the perfect time. And that's a great, great challenge by Evoh. That is not easy. He made it look very, very easy to fly off the inside of that wall and make sure your flip covers every part of Toxic's attempt in order to win the challenge away from danger. Said this before about Toxic. Worst players, this time it's about Evoh, worst players are not going to get that save. Toxic, the 50. Evoh almost kept it out. Evoh recovering to the back wall late. Toxic, you can see pulling the front end of his car away. Trying to make sure he can force the rebound of Evoh's touch into the net. Toxic low air dribble bump. Evoh exclusively enjoys air dribble bumps. He does not like any other shot. This time he's going to throw a double nice shot. We're going to make him watch it. See if he can handle the tilt. We're trying to make him mentally strong. When he plays in the RLCS, he'll have to watch every replay. Oh, how long does Feer normally stream? How many show matches does he do? It depends on the time. Wait a second. Toxic. He might be able to take the lead here if he can continue to perform on this first USC server. Evoh just get caught underneath the kind of play you might see someone making when they're not on their own ping. But Evoh is right at home. 5-5. Bit of a fake hook shot. Toxic doesn't fall for it, so Evoh forced to just take this ball out to midfield. Toxic is going to play aggressive, and Evoh's going to come out the better of it. Toxic had to use a decent amount of boost to make that flick, and Evoh had 100, but he did not expect this early backwards challenge. Toxic was hiding just barely behind the ball. It's enough to surprise Evoh. Toxic, don't slam this into your own net. We saw you do a similar takeaway that resulted in an own goal, but wow, Evoh able to chase him down. Toxic, what a respawn! It doesn't get better than that. I think that's the only way Toxic is able to make this work, by respawning directly in front of Evoh. Oh, you couldn't even see. Like, the replay didn't even show it because he got bumped so quickly. He got launched off the respawn. 6-5, Evoh. Able to get a save, but can't keep it out. Toxic. A nice kickoff win. And not a strong shot, but placed just well enough. Just enough behind the front of Evoh's car that he can't connect with it with the nose of his car. If he's able to, he's going to be able to power it out. But because he wasn't able to, it was soft. And Toxic able to force overtime in an incredibly crucial game for Evoh. If he wants to be able to win, take the entire prize pool, he has to win this game. Toxic could secure, at worst, a tie. He's able to win now. I guess both these guys are able to secure that. But it's got to feel like a better win for Toxic since we are playing on Evoh's home. Evoh's going to leave. First time he's done that in a while. Low 50, great coverage. These are hard to do. Toxic has been really, really solid with the flicks, and this time he doesn't go for it. Goes low 50. Evoh is able to get that read and get a 7th. Evoh's defense has been the reason why he's been able to step it up, and it is once again the case here. How he got the read that Toxic wasn't going for that flick, we'll never know, because Toxic has crushed that flick all game long. Same exact setup he's always used. Evoh has the read. Evoh gets the win. 2-1, headed into game 4. Do you think we'll see more crew battle format tournaments in the future? Everyone seems to think it's really entertaining. I really like it. I hope to see it more. I wish I could be involved in more stuff like that. Hopefully they do an EU version of what they did with the Nissan event, and I can be involved. But yeah, I'd be really excited to see more of it, for sure. I don't know if it will happen, though. It's hard because there's a lot more people. All right, game number 4. This is the last game of the set. For anybody who has forgotten, thought we went back to a regular best of 5. It is 2 games on EU, 2 games on US East. Evoh held his first game on US East, as well as stealing one on EU. So now, if he can hold on US East again, he's the outright winner of the $65 prize pool. If not, then Toxic is going to be able to earn himself half of it. And they will walk away, shake hands, and say, good game. Hopefully they do that no matter what. But they'll definitely be doing that as equals if Toxic's able to get this win. Toxic is up 1-0 to start. Can't do much with his touch off the wall. Lost control of it. Oh my goodness, Evoh is trying to get back at Toxic for those flicks. That was going to be equally as much of a boomer. Evoh tried to double jump late, I think, to pick up the boost there, and didn't. Then just had to bail. Toxic, he left this net open. Oh, okay. I thought for a second Evoh had messed up. What's going on, big fan? What up, comp? Evoh catching this 50 late, but got to get enough touch. Wow, what a stop. That was a crazy touch. We were watching from Evo's perspective, but how did he just kill it right in the spot he wanted to attack from again? I mean, that ball was moving quick, and he was moving quick, but he just zoomed right past it, paused it right at midfield. Now Toxic is up. Evoh knows he doesn't need to be aggressive on that challenge. He can just use a tiny bit of boost, see if he can win the 50, and then he'll have a huge advantage going the other way because Toxic had to use up all of his to get to the ball. And even though Toxic does maintain possession, it looked like after coming out of that play, I think he's a little bit on panic mode, trying to corral the ball, trying to recover from what was probably a poor challenge. And eventually, Evoh finds his opening. Can we get an Arsenal show match? Yeah, I'd be down to get Arsenal. It's tough because I don't have any way of knowing when he's online. That would be the best way to do so. So he's had to basically message in Twitch chat when he's wanted to play in the past. And I just don't know another method of doing that because I can never know when he's online. Toxic, nice long shot across the whole map. I think Arsenal is known for keeping his friends list really clean from what I can tell, based on a couple of quips I've heard of other people. He hasn't added me. Like I heard, yeah, I don't know. I've heard a couple different times of Arsenal like cleaning up his friends list. I have his alt added, and that's the one he plays ones on, but I haven't seen him on it. Evoh got Toxic to miss. It's a third. Dig might be untouchable in a crew battle format. Yeah, I definitely want to see Dig. Who is Dig's 2s team? Is it Jack Joyas? I feel like Scrub plays a lot of 2s. It could be Scrub. Is Scrub Joyas? Is Scrub Jack? I don't know. And the problem is that you can't use all three of them in the 1v1. That's something that happens very, very rarely unless the format kind of forces it. The way that they did the Nissan crew battles, that was the best chance of using multiple 1v1ers. But the way almost every other crew battle has gone, where you can use your best player in any match, you're not really going to get to use all three of your 1v1ers. I imagine you don't ever use Scrub because you're probably just using either Joyas or Jack depending on the matchup. Evoh, nice challenge. Got the read. Not the first time. Toxic has had a very tame dribble that Evo's been able to dunk over the top of. FaZe, BDS, Falcons, SSG. I mean, FaZe doesn't have first killer playing the ones, then it's a whole different story. Oh, Evoh. Did he get the reset or not? I can't tell if he got a wave dash. It looked like he got the reset. He takes it, taps it to himself off the ceiling, gets potentially the reset. I don't know if he wave dashed there or not, but either way, he goes underneath. He definitely baited Toxic into thinking he had the reset, which is why Toxic jumps high. Monkey Moon's on a whole other level. Yeah, BDS. I mean, BDS just being a great 3s team. Monkey Moon can handle the ones. He certainly can win against 90% of all players he'll be playing against in a crew battle format. And then the fact that they're just top players all around. It's just because they have Seiko now too. BDS would be really good. I want to know how good G2 would be. I mean, I don't know who G2 just is missing out on the ones player, right? I think those players should be just fine in 2s. And Chicago has actually been pretty decent when called upon in ones in the past. Probably enough to get away with it, I would think. Evoh, he sees an open net. He's going to take it. Toxic, let him have it. 0 boost as he reverses his way out to the corner. That's not a very fast way to move. He couldn't decide whether or not to half flip into the corner or just keep driving backwards. And I think both of them would have left him out of position. Now Evoh's trying to show him how to make the right play while driving slowly backwards. Nice demo. Evoh's got himself tons of space in a minute. Now this is a situation where there's enough time that Evoh going up into an air dribble wouldn't be the worst case, but I actually do like when he forces players to come and play an aggressive challenge they would rather not do. That being said, Evoh did leave this ball long enough for Toxic to get away with his challenge. Big miss. Oh my goodness, Evoh choking a little bit. Needed to keep that lower. He definitely would have had a goal. Popped it too high though. Made it possible for Toxic to save. Can he carry this to net before Toxic's recovery? He should be able to. He will. 7-3. Looking like Evoh's going to hold on to both his USC server games. In fact, it'll be a gentleman's sweep. Toxic taking game 1, and Toxic stole game 1. This has been a really good performance from Evoh. Evoh up 1 with 30 seconds left to go. We were just talking about it. He pulled into that air dribble when he really didn't need to. Could have held the possession game for the last 30 seconds or so. And then Toxic was able to tie it up and then eventually win. If it weren't for that, it would have been 4 solidly played games from Evoh. Toxic getting a 50 over the top of Evoh, but Evoh had basically dropped his controller. Here, if it's a tie, each player gets 50%. Yes. If it's 3-1, no, we went winner takes all if somebody wins, is what we agreed upon. So in this case, Evoh is going to take the full prize pool, able to beat Toxic in an EU game and 2 USC games. GG's. Toxic will put 1 more in. 7-5. So the GG's as well. They're too fast. It's pro level leavers. All right. They leave the game at pro speeds. You guys got to give me a break. Thanks for playing. And out of the party. Never stand a chance. Well, hopefully they can just go back and listen to the bot, or they had it open the whole time like Evoh does. GG's. Thanks for playing, guys. Evoh takes the win over Toxic.